Is this really about money? It can't be. It can't just be about money. They have to have an objective to kill people. I mean, this has to be a depopulation event. Does that sound hyperbolic? Do you believe that I'm overstating that?
Not at all. I mean, there's no question that that's the priority. Money is secondary. If you were to go to Dublin or to Ireland now, Stu, you would think that you had landed in, downtown Niger or some African capital. We are being completely and totally replaced. There's only about 4 or 5 million of us. And it seems like they've brought in about 5 million migrants.
This maybe is the great white replacement. That's what this is. They're replacing white people, specifically white males, and especially white Christian males, to water down the population and make every country look like a third world population where there's dissent in the street, where there's chaos in the street, where you have division in the street. Nobody is unified, thereby being weakened, so that the uniparty, along with the globalist one-world government, can be ushered in. The American people can be disarmed by an entity like the United Nations, and then everywhere falls to this great reset, Agenda 2030, New World Order, whatever you want to call it.
It's really, really heartbreaking. In some ways, I think engaging with the state is problematic now, because the corruption is so total and they're so violent.
We need to ignore them in every way. We need to say no. Chris Sky, great guy, great friend of mine, great friend of the program, United Noncompliance. If 8 billion people would just say no, they would have no control over it. There's 8 billion of us. We are humankind. There are 8 billion of us. We do not have to bow to these lizard things that are trying to turn everyone into a transhuman morph of, some chipped brain, predictable, controllable, robot. We don't have to be that. We don't have to be. Do you really want to raise your kids like that? What do you want to leave your kids? A bloodbath? Because that's what's coming for them. They're already sending U.S. troops. We got boots on the ground in the Middle East. They're trying to spark World War III with Iran. They're trying to spark it with China over Taiwan. We're sending trillions of dollars, to Ukraine and to Israel, because the hundreds of billions that they're disclosing, they're stealing more. They're skimming more. And then they're siphoning it through NGOs, weapons manufacturers, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, bombing millions of people to make trillions of dollars to send to, Pfizer's, butt licker, Lindsey Graham, and all of these warmongers like Nikki Haley and this eye patch guy, Dan Crenshaw, and they're all over the place. And the Fox News channel is calling for it as well. Why? Because they're funded by the same people out of Israel that every other corporate media outlet is. When are people going to wake up?
They're using Ireland to carry out their program of genocide and to carry out all of the fraud that goes along with that. So people need to see Ireland not just as some sort of irrelevant little island. It's extremely influential because they've managed. The corruption here is total. Please take note of what is happening here. We are really, really struggling. We're being run by the most corrupt people in the West at the moment. And I know, speaking to an American, that's hard to believe. This is a plea for help.
I have to listen. My dad always told me, if your gut tells you something, listen to your gut. And as I got older, I asked him what he meant by that. And he goes, well, because what's in your gut is in your soul. It's inherently in you. And what's in your soul is being spoken to you by God. Who else speaks to your soul? Nobody. God does. God's not wrong. He's telling you this. And in my gut and in my soul, I just know that we're at the precipice of a major victory. I can feel it. As horrifically dark this all sounds, I have this undying feeling of victory. And I think that we're going to see it very soon.